Hi guys, and today we're going to be talking about new information we got on Pendulum summoning, which is a new form of summoning monsters in Arc 5, which is coming out in April for us. In the TCG, I think it's March for the OCG. We also got new rules, effective 21st of March. First off, we have the player who goes first will not draw for their first turn, which give my thoughts on that in a minute. We also have both players can have field spell cards active on the field at the same time, and effect card text will be written in new styles, making them easier to understand. So they have numbers now, so it's like 1 effect, 2 effect, 3 effect. The player goes first will not draw, which is sort of a disadvantage at going first now. And also both players can have a field spell, which means if you're playing against Gravekeepers, they have Necro Valley, you're sort of a bit messed up, but still. Onto Pendulum summoning here, we have the how to pendulum summon. We have what it is a new pendulum zone is being created. I've said that. What you do is you place a pendulum monster in there, and it's treated as a spell card because they're half and half. They're half monster, half spell, and they're placed there and have spell effects. And pendulum monsters have a scale number on the left and right, and when pendulum monsters are sent from the field to the grave, they go to the extra deck face up. When you place the pendulum monsters on the field with different scales, so i.e. 1 and 8, you can special summon from your hand or extra deck pendulum monsters with the scale numbers in between. So if it's 1 and 8, then you can special summon pendulum monsters 2 to 7, which is pretty cool. So here we have our first pendulum monster, a Chronomancy Magician. Probably just killed that name. But here you can see the blue arrow on the left and the right arrow on the red arrow on the right. And they're both scale 8, and it's a Dark Spellcaster Pendulum effect because you can see it's a half and half card, so that's how you know it's a pendulum monster instead of it saying pendulum down the bottom instead of saying effect or whatever. And you can see it's half and half here. It gets a spell effect, and it's if you control no monsters you can activate this card. If your pendulum monster battles, your opponent cannot activate trap cards until the end of the damage step. If you have a Michisushi card or an Odd Eyes card in your other pendulum zone, this card's pendulum scale becomes 4. And Majisushi is just the name of the card, just in case you're asking. Here we also have a monster effect. While this card is in your monster card zone, once per turn, cards in your pendulum zone cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And what I was thinking is, Mystical Space Typhoon and Dark Hole, will they both affect these new pendulum zones? So we go to Dark Hole, a pendulum monster, and Mystical Space Typhoon it? Don't know. But next we have a Astromancy Magician, which is another pendulum monster coming out in the structure deck, and this is blue scale 1 and red scale 1, and its effect in the spell card zone is if your pendulum monster battles, your opponent cannot activate spell cards until the end of the damage step. So basically if you have this one and the other one, they can't activate anything basically. And if your other pendulum zone does not have a Machisushi card or Odd Eyes card, this card's pendulum scale becomes 4. So this is sort of like the opposite effect of the other one, whereas if you were to have this card in it and the other card, that effect becomes 4, so basically you have a scale of 1 to 4. But if you don't, it would be scaled to like 4 to 8 or whatever. Also, monster effect is once per turn. When a pendulum monster is returned to your hand by a card effect, you can special summon one monster from your hand with the same level. Had to remember that there. This is one of another pendulum monsters that can be pendulum summoned, and it's the effect of Machu Sansu. It can only be once per turn, and when it's pendulum summoned, you can return one card on the field to its owner's hand. So that's just a quick overview of pendulum summoning, and I hope it's not as confusing as this, but hopefully it'll come easier later on. Bye!